Simmons. This is Wrestling Unlimited. As Luke's not full screen, there we go. And it's Monday, and we're here. Tonight was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a pretty good show. I was entertained throughout. We build up a bunch of stuff for Elimination Chamber and even beyond, I feel like, not just Elimination Chamber. One thing that stood out to me, though, tonight, and I know it's kind of a little thing, but for me, it was a big thing. I loved the AJ Styles video package we got to hype up whatever tribute they're doing to AJ next week in Atlanta. Like, I watched that video and I was like, oh, this is very well done. If they're airing this now as a tease, I can only imagine what the tribute for AJ is going to be next week on Monday Night Raw. But we got that and so much more to talk about. We got Luke here with us. Luke, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. And as far as Raw does go, I thought Raw was a decent show. I mean, again, they were kind of doing some stuff to like build up Chamber. Javon Evans was like shocked. I was a little shocked that Javon Evans won, but we'll get to there when we get to it. But
I know we'll talk about
it. Was a decent.
Go for it.
I mean, it was decent, but like there were a few spots where I was kind of bored. I'll say that.
Here's a question I have, and I know we'll get into more of it once we start reviewing Raw here. Was it just me, or did the main event feel just a little slow? Like they were stretching for time or something?
Feel a little slow.
Okay, yeah. And the crowd was really down for that match too, it felt like. I don't know if maybe the crowd was mic'd wrong or something, but they just didn't feel like super pumped up during that main event.
Yeah, I have no clue.
But we've got Raw, and we got other news we're going to talk about here in a little bit as well. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube at that subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos when we go live and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to, you get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat in the comment section, and you get access to our graphics packages. You also get all of that at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember, if you are watching on YouTube, you can do so to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. You can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store, buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. With all of that, we're going to jump into a couple of news things here Luke and I are going to discuss before we talk Monday Night Raws. We got some stuff we haven't fully covered here recently. Let's go, boom, pull Luke back up on the screen. But then we got some news notes that we're going to talk about that came out over the weekend. The first thing that I want to talk about does come from a new report from WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling that actually talks about how much money they made off ticket sales from last year's WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. New reporting reveals that WWE brought in their record-breaking ticket revenue for 2025's WrestleMania 41 in a new article from WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling, using data from live event trade publication Polestar. It shows that last year's two-night WrestleMania event at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas generated, you ready for this, Luke? $66,074,558. That is roughly $33 million per night in ticket sales for WrestleMania 41. What about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's wild.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
No wonder why they want to go back to Vegas.
Well, that and Vegas really just wanted them. I don't know how much. So here's my question. Oh, wait. Nope. We do have more on this. This answers my question because I haven't read this full report yet. It says, while there wasn't a full breakdown for each night, we can only estimate that each night did roughly $33 million. Thurston did confirm that there is a 50-50 split. So there we go. This actually surpasses, where was it? It says, there was a 50-50 split, $33 million per night, would surpass any wrestling show in history. Now the big question is, how much of that money goes to WWE? How much of that money goes to the stadium or the city or whoever? Like what's the breakdown of who makes what off of that? You know what I mean? That's the big question. But if it's $33 million a night, 50-50 split, even whatever, no wrestling show has ever made that much money ever. Wild. We have some more little tidbits here from that WrestleMania. Thurston also reported the Saturday attendance was 58,538, with the Sunday attendance being 60,103. So one would assume the Sunday made just a little bit more money than the Saturday, you would think. So wild that WWE made that much money off ticket sales last year. And that's not even, here's the other thing. That's how much WWE made. But then you have to ask the question of how much money did scalpers make? Like, no, scalpers ain't making no 66 million, of course. But if WWE were able to sell tickets at such a high price that everyone was complaining about last year, scalpers are selling it for even more. So you got to think, how much money did scalpers make off these tickets last year? That's the big crazy thing.
What do you mean by scalpers?
So, do you know what a scalper is? So what a scalper is for anything, whether that's a WrestleMania, whether that's a Taylor Swift concert, whether that's the Super Bowl, when tickets go on sale, they're going to try and buy as many as they can just to resell them at a higher price. This was an issue AEW had early on, where a lot of their tickets would be sold to scalpers, and scalpers would then resell the AEW tickets for more money than AEW was selling them for. And I want to say it was World's End 2024. Dave Meltzer actually was able to get confirmation that scalpers made more money on ticket sales than AEW actually did for that show. So that's a very big lucrative market, is scalpers buying up ticket sales for popular events and then reselling them at a higher price. Like when I went to WrestleMania 31 in Levi Stadium in San Francisco, Santa Clara, I spent, I want to say it was $240 on my ticket. And that ticket, I think originally was like maybe $2. So I bought it at like a $40 increase or something like that. Maybe it was a little less original, but yeah, that's the whole thing. So scalpers be trying to, and it's not even, and I know people say scalpers are a scam. I mean, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. But moving,
That is it.
Nope. But moving forward, go for it.
Should it be? Should it be illegal?
I mean, it's not ethical. I'll say that. I don't know about illegal. I wouldn't go as far as saying illegal, no. So moving forward, though, we got some news on Bianca Belair, who has not been seen since last year's WrestleMania. WrestleMania made big money last year, but it also, well, saw the EST suffer a broken finger and have to sit out for basically a year almost so far. Bianca Belair, who has been out of action with a hand injury, posted on social media yesterday that she would be undergoing surgery on the broken finger. Surgery is supposed to take place today, Monday, February 16th, 2026. She posted on her Instagram on Sunday, surgery tomorrow. She did state back in, I want to say December, in an interview with 106 in Sport, stating, quote, "So I broke my knuckle, not my finger. I broke my knuckle. I broke the joint. It's something that I thought was going to be straightforward, 8, 12 weeks. It's been 6 months at this point." So, yeah, really crazy to see. And we do have a bit donation here from Esports Gaming Rules asking about this as well. He says, her Bianca Belair is officially out of WrestleMania 42 Vegas. Now, esports gaming rules, I don't know where you heard that. Just because she's having surgery today does not mean she's out of Mania. Please, you don't have to put another bit donation, but please let us know where you heard that if she's officially out. Because I haven't seen anything about her being officially out. Also, thank you on Twitch for the hype train we had going on. That's really appreciated. But yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on, if she's going to make it to Mania or not, depending on how the surgery goes. We haven't heard anything today yet. So hopefully within the next day or two, or by the end of the week, we hear if it's a successful surgery or not. What are your thoughts on Bianca being out for so long with a freaking broken knuckle, I guess you would say?
I didn't know why she was out for so long. I mean, I was like, geez, just that long for like a broken knuckle?
I want to say it was on that triple German suplex spot in the Mania match with Io and Rhea. She went to take the bump, and when she did the flat bump back, her finger, one of her fingers, it might have been this finger, bent when she went to take the bump and jammed into the mat. No. It might have been the top rope spot. It was one of those big weird spots where it was like all three of them together. In her hand, she went to take the bump, and her hand just landed weird. So, yeah, that's wild. Moving forward, we got some more news. We got some non-WWE news actually to talk about. First off, over the weekend, we did see the Inspiration, former Iconics, Cassie Lee and Jess McKay. They showed up at an AEW live event in Brisbane, Australia to announce, well, they're all elite, which is kind of weird to do that on a non-televised show. Very weird. I don't know why they didn't show up the night before at Grand Slam, but okay, sure, why not? We do have some news on this, though, that comes from Fightful, as they write the following. The Inspiration are on All Elite Wrestling. It's not a one-shot deal. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that Cassie Lee and Jay McKay not only signed with AEW, but signed multi-year deals with the company. We're told that this has been a foregone conclusion for over a month, and AEW had nailed down the Inspiration duo nearly a month ago. The two debuted at the AEW House Rules show in Australia the night after AEW Grand Slam. They had been TNA Knockouts champions until Knockouts Tag Team champions until about a month ago, dropping those titles to the Elegance brand. Luke, I'm going to ask you a question here. Did you see that match on January 15th? The Elegance brand versus the Inspiration for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships? Don't. It's one of the worst matches you'll ever watch. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I heard that match sucked, actually.
And it wasn't all... For AEW, I'm just going to say it right here. I'm going to finish with Fightful wrote first, and then I'm going to go on my little thing here. Fightful reported at the time they were finishing up, and there was interest in them from outside of the company. We're told that the TNA departure was amicable. Sources in WWE we spoke to believed that if they weren't at the Royal Rumble, they were AEW bound. Now, here's my thing with this. AEW is the company where everyone always talks about the work rate, how great the wrestlers are, how great the wrestling is. But and I hope this doesn't come off bad. The Inspiration are not work rate wrestlers. The Inspiration are not good wrestlers. The Inspiration are nothing more than gimmicks. They're the characters. They're both very charismatic, but I just don't see where they fit in All Elite Wrestling. I don't see it at all. I see them just going in there and having a bunch of stinkers. Like, what are you going to do? Have them go up against Harley and Willow for them tag titles quickly or something?
That's going to be a terrible match.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, do you think Harley's good in the ring?
She's better. I would say Harley's better than both of them. And Harley continues to get better. You have to remember, before AEW, I don't think Harley Cameron worked a match. Let's look up her cage match.
She just did singing, I think.
She did a lot of things, but still. Harley Cameron cage matches. Yeah, she worked one match before signing with AEW. It was for Wrestle Pro. She took on Scarlett Bordeaux in an 8-minute and 25-second match on the February 5th, 2022. Then that July, she worked AEW. So Harley's not been wrestling long, but since, being full-time with AEW, she's gotten a lot better. Still, though, I don't see them fitting. They're going to stand out as really being bad. Like, when they go in there with the AEW women, they're really going to stand out as, oh, they suck. And then, no offense to the inspiration, but it's just like, I think eventually, and I think, and we were talking about this beforehand, they're going to end up like high-end in Maya World. You're going to bring them in. You're going to get the, oh, it's so cool to see them here. Where'd they go? I don't even see anyone talking about high-end in Maya World working like Ring of Honor or anything. It was like they brought him in, they signed him with this big old fanfare of, oh, these two agreed to work a match last minute and they weren't ready for it. And they stepped up and impressed Tony Khan. And then what? Nothing. So what do you think they do with the inspiration in All Elite Wrestling? You think they just wanted them because they were going to Australia?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe I just think like they're a tag team and they want like an actual like tag team for their tag division, not just like a bunch of like random women being paired as a tag team.
Right.
And so they're probably like, hey, like these women, like they're a known tag team in women's wrestling. Let's sign them.
So we'll see what they do with them. I mean, they haven't been announced for anything going forward yet. They've only appeared on the one live event and all over their social media. So we'll see if they're even on television this Wednesday or Saturday for Collision. Finally, we do have one more news note we're going to talk about. It looks like David Finlay is no longer with New Japan Pro Wrestling, as Fightful does write the following tonight. Free agent is confirmed. New Japan Pro Wrestling star David Finlay's contract has officially expired with the company. Fightful learned that while Finlay's contract is over, New Japan is actively trying to re-sign the fourth-generation star. Fourth? I didn't realize he was a fourth-generation star. Anyways, while it's widely speculated that Clark Connors is signed with AEW, despite no company announcement being made yet, natural speculation has ensued that Finlay could end up joining as well, inserting more of the War Dogs into the company. Fightful has previously confirmed that WWE and Finlay had talks amidst WWE interest, with many fans expecting Finlay to join his brother and father with the company. His free agency is officially underway. Fightful reported in December that Finlay was looking to explore options in North America upon his contract expiring. Now, I know on NXT television, his brother, which one's his brother? Uriah Connors, yeah, has kind of teased like somebody is coming or he's got somebody or something's going to happen. So his brother's teasing something. I don't know if that's just him coming in or not, but I can see him going to WWE, working NXT, being there with his brother. His dad's one of the coaches at the PC, so it all just kind of fits there. But at the same time, he's a guy that's like got a good enough name where he can go to AEW and be, I would say, successful. But at the same time, I'm fearful for anybody going to AEW because so many guys just get lost in the shuffle. What do you think David Finlay does?
I really want him to go to NXT, but I do feel like there's that good chance he goes to AEW, mainly because they signed Clark Connors. That's supposed to be like their way to maybe like entice Finlay to go to AEW. So they could do like a whole like War Dogs reunion, but I don't know. I feel like at this point it's just 50-50.
Yeah, I don't know where he goes either. There's been more talk of him going to WWE, but there's nothing like more clear either way, I would say, as far as like rumors and reports and so forth. So the sky's the limit for old David Finlay, former IWGP Global Champion. But with that is all the big news.
Actually, I have a random
notes.
question.
Go for it.
Does New Japan, do they still have that TV title?
Yes, the New Japan World title or whatever. It's got like
they're like television championship. It's like it's like very rectangular.
And it's got like
I think Matt Riddle had it at one point.
Yes, I think it's the gimmick is it's like 15-minute time limit or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, they still have that.
I never see them. Who is the champion? I don't even know.
I was literally just looking that up. I'll tell you right now. It is El Phantasmo. He is the 9th ever NJPW World TV Champion. El Phantasmo.
New Japan has a lot of belts.
They've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men's belts and 2 women's titles.
That's a lot.
Now, granted, they've got 3 sets of tag titles and a trio's 6-man tag titles. They have the Never Openweight 6-man tag titles. They've got the IWGP Tag Team Championships, the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships, and then the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships. So, yeah. Just looking here really fast. We do have a bid donation from Chancellor Palpatine. It says, does Luke do the Kit Wilson dance?
No.
I don't even, yeah.
I mean, if he paid me, I would do it.
He paid
It'd have to be a lot of money.
He paid his super chat.
How much was the super chat?
Ooh, $2.
It's gonna have to be more than that. I'm sorry. For all due respect, you're gonna have to pay a lot more for me to do the Kit Wilson dance.
And just looking here to see what other bit donations we have, if any are non-Raw related, that we'll read when we get to the Raw review. This one says Jeff Jarrett. This one from Esports Gaming Rules says Jeff Jarrett thinks Gunther is the quote face of WWE on his podcast. Now he is going to be mad that he's not in the chamber. Oh, this is Raw related. No, you can be the face of WWE and not be in the chamber. They must have a bigger plan for Gunther at WrestleMania. That's all it is.
Gunther versus Dragon Lee.
Oh Lord, no, that they're not teasing that now for Mania. Anyways, Muscleman85 does state, what are your thoughts on Ava Rain's recent tweets? And also, what are your thoughts on Warner Bros. Telling AEW to pull Brody King from TV? So there's a couple of things there. Ava Rain recent tweets. There are no recent tweets. She sent that one tweet about not liking the administration and ICE and then deleted her Twitter. So, yeah, there's nothing to that.
I think your Twitter is still up, isn't it?
I thought it went down. Check it. Well, I addressed the other part. So, the Brody Lee thing with WBD. They actually didn't tell AEW not to use Brody King. That's actually not what happened. Dave Meltzer corrected himself. He said that what he said was it was implied to him that WBD may have had influence on not having Brody King on last week's. I'm trying to paraphrase this, not having Brody King on last week's Dynamite was a call above Tony Khan. And everyone the next morning was like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. WBD put out statements through like Fightful and stuff. Tony Khan even said stuff, even called Dave and told Dave that's not true. And Dave clarified that on his Friday podcast, stating that it was implied to him that that may have been why Brody wasn't used. And that his wording was wrong when he said it on his Wednesday podcast. So WBD did not tell AEW not to use Brody King. But what Dave, and I don't know if this is just Dave trying to make himself look good or whatnot and save face or whatever, but what Dave said is it was implied to him that WBD wouldn't want the fuck ICE chants on their TV. And so they may have not wanted him on the TV. That's the whole thing. That's what it was. So there was never a official WBD told Tony they can't use Brody King. Also speaking to WBD, Esports Gaming Rules of the bid donation here says, what do you think of WBD owning a stake in AEW and how it affects the bidding war between Netflix and Paramount Skydance? And I think WWE never say Star Trek because they on Netflix. Well, first off, WBD owning a percentage of AEW, it's less than 10%. And we know that for a fact because WBD is a publicly traded company. Any companies that they own that is 10% or higher, they have to publicly put a SEC filing statement out for. And because they've never put an SEC statement out for owning part of AEW, that means that it is under 10%. It is 9.9% or lower. What that could have to do with, the bidding war between Paramount and Netflix, nothing. It literally has nothing to do with anything. So AEW or Tony giving them a small little minute percentage means nothing other than, hey, there's a reason that they're so invested with AEW. And it's a good thing for AEW. My whole thing here is the TV network owning a percentage is a good thing for a new company. Now they're not new anymore. They're 7 years in, but they were new at one point. And so WBD owning a percentage from the start makes Tony know that they're going to be committed. Makes Tony know that they're going to want the show to do better than just, we want good ratings that can get us good ad revenue. No, they're going to want the entire company to be successful from a marketing standpoint, a merch standpoint, a pay-per-view standpoint, all those things, because they're going to get a percentage of everything, not just benefit from the TV. So that's my thing there. And as far as the Star Trek thing, I don't know what you mean there. What, they don't mention that Becky's on Star Trek? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. But yeah.
Becky's on Star Trek?
Yeah, so the new Star Trek show on Paramount Plus, Becky Lynch is in it. Star Trek Fleet Command, I want to say is what it's called.
I've personally never got into Star Trek.
Me neither. I've watched a bunch of the movies, and I think they're cool, but it's nothing where I'm like, oh man, I got to keep up with all the Star Trek. Nah. I'm more Star Wars.
Star Wars is dead at this point.
I don't know about that.
I mean, they're basically done with the Skywalker story.
Yes and no, because they're
I like the Obi-Wan show. I thought the Obi-Wan show was cool.
They need a second season of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was great, but no, they're developing a new movie for Rey, and she's technically now Rey Skywalker. So I could go on for a while about talking Star Wars stuff, like that whole story of they were going to make a Ben Solo movie, The Hunt for Ben Solo. That sounded cool. And then freaking Bob Iger said, he's dead. Well, people want to watch that movie. They wouldn't understand what's going on. Force Ghost. That's all I'm going to say. Ben Solo, the Force Ghost. So it's all good. With all of that, that is all the news that has really come out over the last couple of days that we haven't covered here on the channel. Not much news over the weekend, to be completely honest, though. What do you got, Luke?
I forgot to mention this. Did you see that video on Twitter of Royce Keys having that dark match before SmackDown? He got no pop whatsoever.
I didn't see the video. I just saw the photos.
So yeah, people were saying that Royce Keys had a dark match before SmackDown against Nathan Frazier, and he got no reaction whatsoever from the fans.
Dang. Yeah, see, I didn't see the video. I just saw the photo of them in the ring.
Because maybe this was supposed to be some test, maybe see how the fans would react.
Well, if you remember, before Tala Tonga debuted on SmackDown with the MFTs, he worked 3 dark matches before SmackDown shows.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just the same thing. Getting him used to WWE production, because they're going fast track him straight to the main roster, which makes sense. If you're not going to work NXT and you're not going to learn the WWE style, then what better way than just to have you work a couple dark matches, which also tells us most likely he's going to SmackDown, though, because he's working before SmackDowns. So they're getting him acquainted with the SmackDown roster and the SmackDown crew and the SmackDown loop. With all of that, though, as far as Monday Night Raw does go, we check here to make sure we've got. Thank you to Elite Tiss for subscribing on YouTube as a channel member for 22 months. Really do appreciate that one. We do have some other bit donations here as well that we will get to. Here's one from Esports Gaming Rules. WWE mentioned Sasha Banks and Neville on WWE Raw. Yes, but not by name. Did you notice that? They mentioned both Neville and Sasha Banks. So they mentioned Neville when at one point, I want to say it was during the main event, Corey Graves said, I used to have a tag team partner that defied gravity. Neville, the man that gravity forgot. And then...
Oh, yeah. Wait, who said that?
Corey Graves, because Corey Graves and Neville, I'm pretty sure, were tag team champions in
NXT.
Yeah.
They beat the Wyatt family.
Yeah. And then they
lost those belts to the Ascension.
Gotcha. That I did not know. So then they yes and no mentioned Sasha Banks when they stated that Bayley has won an Elimination Chamber before when she and her partner at the Boston Hug Connection became the first ever women's tag team champions, winning the Elimination Chamber. They never said the name Sasha Banks. They just said the Boston Hug Connection. So
I remember Sasha Banks went on a whole rant of they won the tag belts at Chamber, then they lost them at Mania. The She had a big hissy fit that they didn't give her a lengthy run with the tag belts, and they're gonna have her turn heel on Bayley, and then she asked for a release and everything.
That was the first time she stormed out. But do you remember who they lost those tag titles to at Mania?
The Iconics.
Iconics, who we just talked about earlier, signing with AEW and having one of the worst matches I've ever seen earlier this year.
Well, I remember Nia Jackson and Tamina were in that match, but Nia already had an injury of a double ACL, an ACL or rupture.
Correct me.
And
Beth and Natty in that match as well. Wasn't it a four-way?
No.
It was Mania 35.
But yeah, Nia had a ruptured ACL, and she didn't tell WWE about it because if they did, they would have pulled not only her but Tamina from the match as well. But she didn't tell them because she didn't want Tamina to lose her WrestleMania moment.
Yep. Beth and Natty were in that match as well. It was Iconics, Boston Hug, Nia and Natty, or Nia and Tamina, Beth and Natty. Yeah, because I remember Beth and Natty were matching Bret Hart inspired gear. Some more big donations here. We've got one here, a couple here of Esports Gaming Rules asking about the mystery crate. Could it be Jericho? He says, is it possible the mystery crate that is revealed at WWE Elimination Chamber Chicago is going to be Chris Jericho? Because the WWE Universe were saying in the PLE's post-show, WW2, Triple H, Y2J, and we want Jericho. I don't know. Then he asks again, do you think the mystery crate will be revealed to be Jericho at Elimination Chamber Chicago? I joked with Luke earlier and asked him that, but I have no clue. I really don't know. I'm trying to think when WWE has done this big crate gimmick before. I think, didn't they do this with Sting in the Seth Rollins build-up stuff where they had a big crate and they thought it was going to be the Sting, or it was supposed to be a Seth Rollins statue and Sting was in the crate or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly?
Well, yes and no. So here's the whole thing. So they did the whole storyline of they're recognizing all these huge statues of WWE legends, and Seth was I want a statue. So they made a statue of him holding the WWE title and the United States title because he just won the belt. They revealed the statue already, in Triple H's office, but they're going to do Seth's going to love it. Let's reveal it to him in the ring later tonight. And they were going to reveal it, but then once they lift up the curtain, it was Sting, not the statue.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Sting!
Well, then I remember back in the day, I forget exactly when this was. This was 2000, maybe 2007. There was one where, now I'm going to I'm not going to remember this correctly. But there was a crate in the ring. Paul Heyman was the general manager of SmackDown. And he's presenting it to the, no, he wasn't the general manager. He was managing Big Show or something like that. Maybe he was the GM. But there was two crates in the ring, and it said to Undertaker from Big Show, and he opened one and there was a puppy in it, and then the other one had the Big Show in it or something like that.
Oh yeah, they had a puppy in one of the boxes, and then Big Show's in the other one.
I just remember Undertaker walking up to the crate, and He did the whole, because back in the day when he was the American Badass and he'd throw the punch, he'd like really pull back before he'd throw it. And so I remember him like going, boom, and punching through the crate, and there was just like a dog in it, a little puppy with big old floppy ears. I'm like, what the shit is this? So it could be literally anything. Who the heck knows? But as far as Monday Night Raw does go, we get an establishing shot of Beale Street as they're in Memphis, Tennessee. We follow this up with Gunther, Bayley, Lyra, Liv, all entering the building. CM Punk as well, wearing a Cubs hat, and AJ Lee hanging around the arena in Memphis as well. Jay and Jimmy Uso enter the crowd, but their energetic entrance was cut off by the voice of Paul Heyman, who entered with a vision. Logan wanted the fans to listen to Heyman because his words of wisdom were as valuable as the most valuable trading card in the world. Did you hear about this and how much he sold that damn Pikachu card for?
How much?
$16 million at auction.
I would not pay that much for any card.
He bought it for $5 million.
For $5 million?
Yes.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this, but like, do you watch Pawn Stars or seen clips of it?
Oh, I've seen so much Pawn Stars.
Do you remember that one episode where this guy had this like Charizard collection of Pokemon cards?
Yep.
And like, I think there was an episode of the Impulsive Podcast or like something where Logan Paul was trying to buy that collection, and the guy just said no.
Yeah, I remember the episode. Yes.
I don't know how much that collection is cost now, but like I remember that episode. The like what they call the experts, like we're saying, you could probably get like $500,000 for all these Charizard cards, and the guy looked disappointed. And then Rick was like, "I'm not going to make him an offer. I don't know anything about Pokemon or
like,
the cards or anything."
Chum-Lee was trying to be like an expert on the cards or something like that.
Well, Chum-Lee, like he's known for like doing the card trading now.
Let's see, I've got it right here pulled up. The expert said there's a first edition Charizard that one card alone could have been worth $200,000. Trying to see if he gives a full. Yeah. So they tried to offer him, or he wanted $500,000. I'm watching the clip here on YouTube. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna listen to what they say. Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Rick's like, I don't understand any of this. I'm not gonna pay that much money for stuff I don't understand and don't know how long it's gonna take me to sell.
And Chum-Lee was like, "Well, let me make him an offer." He's like, "No, not with my money."
Exactly. The guy wanted $500,000. Yep, right there. He's just not with my money. Crazy. Yeah, they have a whole like on the History Channel YouTube, there's a whole compilation of different Pokemon card offers that they've had and stuff, Pokemon related deals.
I remember they had an episode with Mick Foley in it, and they had another episode with Booker T. They've
had a bunch of wrestling stuff on there.
Yeah, the Macho Man costume that was autographed. The guy who was like selling it, he was like Macho Man's like wedding photographer for like him and Elizabeth's wedding.
Right.
I think.
I believe so.
And I remember him saying, he was like, I never asked him for an autograph or anything, but I told him like I wanted something. So his wife like took him to this like room where he had all this like Macho Man memorabilia. He's like, pick one item from this closet that you want, and he picked the costume.
Well, I remember somebody tried to pawn Paul Bearer's Hall of Fame ring to them,
and the family said it was fake.
Yeah. So moving forward here, they showed a replay of the Masked Man costing Austin Theory his qualifying match last week. Theory complained about it to Adam until Adam Pearce interrupted. Pearce wanted them all to go to his office, and we could talk about this like adults, he said. Theory said, "No, we need justice now." Pearce said that Theory screwed himself. If it weren't for Theory's stable mates tying up his security would have been able to deal with the Masked Man, which not really. Security was not dealing with the rest of the division at that time at all. So I don't know. That's just nitpicking on my end though. Heyman wanted Pearce to put Bronson Reed in the Elimination Chamber, and he said he can qualify for the Chamber. I'll put him in a qualifying match, but I'm not just going to give him a spot. So next week, he can have a match to qualify for the Chamber. Now let's end all this now, and out comes LA Knight. LA Knight said that he wants to fight them. Knight said that the Vision screwed him, they screwed themselves. Theory wasn't going to WrestleMania, and Reed was next on his list. He then said some weird, wacky number. He's like, he's like, I don't care if I have to beat your ass 47,000 times. I forget exactly what he said, but he was like some weird number. He's like, I don't care if I have to beat you up this many times. He just said that Knight wanted Reed to qualify for the Chamber so he can beat him up in the Chamber. Logan then mocked him and said, we put you through a car. And Knight suggested that Pierce make a 6-man. The Usos are already here. There's 3 of them. Let's do it. So 6-man was announced. Give me 2 seconds. I got to go step away really fast. Talk about what you thought about this segment.
I thought the segment was like, it was just okay. Because I was like, yeah, they're just like focusing too much on like Jay and like when they had his music and they were trying to have Paul Heyman cut it off, but like it still kept playing. I was like, they're doing too much with Jay right now, like with his like entrance, and I don't like it. Like they're really just trying so hard to make like Jey Uso that's like nothing more than just an entrance, and it's starting to get annoying. Like chat, let me know how you guys feel about it, but like as far as, I mean, overall, like them talking and stuff, like the promos and stuff, I thought was good, but like I thought the beginning of it was kind of just annoying because I was like, they're doing too much with Jay's entrance, and it's starting to get a little annoying. I don't know if you heard anything I said, but
no, but we're good. I had to go give my daughter some medicine. She's sick with a fever, unfortunately.
No, but like I was saying at the beginning, they're just doing too much with Jay's intro, and it's starting to get annoying.
Oh, that's why I just skipped right past that, because people don't want to hear me complain about that anymore.
Did you see, like, I think this is the Observer voted as like the overrated wrestler of the year was Jey Uso.
Yep.
I can see it. They said number 2 was CM Punk.
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't disagree on the Jey Uso.
No, I'm not disagreeing on Jey Uso. They said 1 was Jey Uso, number 2 was CM Punk.
Let's see. Wrestling Observer most overrated. Yeah, 1 was Jey Uso, 2 was Punk, 3 was Jade, 4 was Evil, and 5 was Seth Rollins.
Jade Cargill?
Yeah. Which I could see.
I could see it. Then Evil, like, how's Evil overrated? People don't even like Evil in general.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like people don't. I feel like people don't understand Evil. Evil has those bad House of Torture matches, but if you really watch Evil, he's actually a really good pro wrestler. Like, he gets it better than a lot of people. That's why I think WWE is going to sign him, bring him in. I think he's going to be very. Go for it.
Well, they're going to sign him in general because that's Io Sky's fiance.
I feel like that it would be a good signing for them regardless. I think he's somebody that, especially if you watch that Aaron Wolf match at the Wrestle Kingdom show, he's somebody that I think young people that need to learn can really learn from, because he's a good trainer and he's good at helping people stand out and hide their weaknesses, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
As far as the 6-man tag team matches go, Reed and Theory used some double team to control Knight early on, and not much really happened for the first 6 or 7 minutes of this match, which went 13 minutes. Knight dodged a senton at one point and got the hot tag to Jey Uso. Jey hit Paul with a clothesline, right hand, and a running hip attack. Jey then speared Paul, but Theory broke up the cover. Knight posted Theory, but gave him a BFT outside of the ring before Reed tackled Knight through the timekeeper's barricade. Paul then blocked his super kick from Jey and hit him with a zigzag for a 2. Jey super kicked Paul as Jimmy tagged himself in. They then hit super kicks and a 1D, but Reed flew in to break up the cover. Reed then headbutted Jey out of the ring and wiped out both Usos with a great looking suicide dive into the announce table. Paul then punched Jimmy with a loaded right hand. Reed then followed this up with a big tsunami and pinned him 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Vision pick up the victory. very good opening match, I would say. I think all these men working very well together.
I kind of expected the Vision to pick up the victory because I do feel like two people in the Vision are going to face the Usos at Mania for the tag belts.
I can see it.
And I personally feel like it's probably going to be Austin Theory and Bronson Reed because I do feel like WWE wants Logan Paul to have a singles match at Mania. I don't know against who, but I do feel like they would much rather have Logan Paul have a singles match than a tag match at Mania.
If we didn't get that rumor from Dave Meltzer on Friday that they're looking at Brock Lesnar in LA Knight, I can see Logan Paul in LA Knight being a good Mania match. Did you hear that one about Brock in LA Knight?
I mean, that one kind of makes sense since LA Knight was one of the people that eliminated Brock in the Rumble.
Thank you, somebody that gets it. Everybody said it doesn't make sense. It makes sense because, well, who eliminated Brock from the Rumble, even though we didn't see it.
The reason why people say it doesn't make sense because WWE freaking screwed up with the production because they didn't put his elimination on TV.
Exactly. You know why? Newton. Fucking Newton.
Yep. Whoever directed that show, I mean, I get it, mistakes happen, but it's like, come on, that's a mistake you can't like make.
Raise your ones. Acknowledge him. Fucking Roman Reigns told him quit fucking playing around. He smacked him in the face.
Yeah.
We learned that next week we get some Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kairi Sane on the women's side. Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original El Grande Americano. And hold on. I got to talk about this goddamn Chad Gable. You didn't see this because it was during a commercial break. You didn't see his interview with Kathy Kelly, did you? Okay. So this motherfucker, you know how Ludwig's like learned perfect Spanish and can do the whole promo in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Chad Gable is not. And he literally,
he's not good at it.
No, this motherfucker he starts talking and he says like, however you say my name is in Spanish, he goes, my name is El Grande Americano. My English, not so bueno. But let me speak to you guys here in perfect English anyways. I'm like, what the fuck? He literally said that. He goes, my English, not so bueno. But I'm going to speak to you guys in the great language of English anyways. I'm like, this fucking Chad Gable. He did not just do that. Say, my English isn't good, but I'm going to speak to you in English, and then cut just a perfect English promo. Like, so preposterous. Anyway,
funny.
It was hilarious. Because he even tried to like do a slight Mexican accent when he said, my English, not so bueno. And then just goes into, I'm Chad Gable. I'm just going to talk like I'm Chad Gable. Anyways, this is when we see the guy deliver the crate. It said deliver to WWE. Do not open until 2/28/26, which is the date of the Elimination Chamber. Pierce was annoyed that Eli seemed to know nothing about the contents of this crate. This guy named Eli. And then told him to send it to SmackDown so Nick Aldis can deal with it. Eli had a clipboard with nothing on it but a blank piece of paper that we can see. Like, no instructions. They didn't even like write some fake things on the paper. It was just a blank piece of paper on the clipboard. The El Grande's Americano and crew show up. Kaiser and his buddies. He talks about how he wants in the Elimination Chamber, but according to Pierce, it's all booked up. Sorry, can't get you in there. He's like, okay, give me a title shot against Dom then. And he's like, oh, I can't just give it to you, but I'll give you a chance to earn it. And then he kind of obliges. So we'll see where that all leads to as we go more in here. But moving forward, speaking about qualifying matches, we had a qualifying match for the Women's Elimination Chamber. It was Asuka, Natty, and Bayley. Natty was introduced from being from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and representing the Hart Family Dungeon. They talked a lot about how she's the only female to ever make it through the dungeon. Natty shined early on in this match and had some control before a break. Bayley fought back after the break and hit a diving elbow drop to Natty's back for a 2. Bayley then elbow dropped Natty again and gave Asuka a superplex. Natty then broke up the cover, though. Natty at one point gave Asuka a discus clothesline before Bayley gave Natty a back suplex. Bayley then gave Asuka a diving elbow drop, but Natty broke up the cover yet again. Natty then gave Bayley a German suplex on the apron, but spent too much time admiring her own work, so Asuka caught her in the Asuka lock. Natty broke free and hit a sit-out powerbomb. As the announcers said, Natty was adding more moves to her arsenal and becoming more dangerous. Natty then applied a sharpshooter, but Bayley broke it up with a running knee. Asuka then knocked Natty out of the ring with a running hip attack before Bayley hit Asuka with a Bayley to belly for a close near fall. Bayley and Asuka then traded counters until Asuka shoved Bayley into the ropes and she knocked Natty off the apron in the process. This then led Asuka to catch Bayley in the Asuka lock, and Bayley quickly would tap out. Asuka has now advanced to the Elimination Chamber. Luke, what do you think of this pretty good triple threat match, I would say?
I kind of expected Asuka to win. I really did, because I was like, Asuka is a pretty good all around wrestler, probably the best all around wrestler in ever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's had some pretty good chamber matches. So
yes.
I was like, yeah, they're gonna put her in the chamber just to put on a good match. I mean, she's not gonna win it. I don't think she will, but she'll just be in it just to have a good match.
So as far as all the women in the chamber so far, I'm looking here to just double check who we've got in so far. We know we got Asuka, we've got Rhea. Was it Asuka, Rhea, Alexa? Am I missing somebody? Tiffany Stratton. So it's Tiffany, Rhea, Alexa, Asuka. Alexa, stop. I hate that. So it's Tiffany, Rhea, Bliss, Asuka, and two more names. Do you think Io makes it in? And we have Io and Rhea both in this match?
Maybe.
Because
I could see it.
The final Raw qualifier for next week is, I have it written down right here. Where did it go? It's Io, Raquel, and Kyrie. But who do we think wins this chamber is the question.
Tiffany.
You think it's going to be Tiffany and Jade at Mania?
Yep.
Oof. That's going to be a rough WrestleMania match.
It will. But if you think about it, Jade was the one that took the belt from Tiffany, so they were going to be like, oh, they're going to do a, what's it called?
Now, who wins that?
They do a third match. They do a third match because, they each got one win against each other.
Oh, you mean
a rubber match?
Rubber match, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do a rubber match at Mania.
But their other matches just have not been that good. They had the SummerSlam match
True.
that wasn't all that good. So it's I don't want to see that as a Mania match at all. But it does seem likely, though.
Well, I don't think it's going to be Charlotte and Alexa, because I feel like those two might fight each other at Mania.
Same.
Good chance.
Same. I just, yeah. I don't know. Moving forward, though. After the match, Maxine Dupree would attack Natalya from behind, beat her up on the stage, and take her to the back as the fans were chanting, "Whoop that trick! Whoop that trick!" And officials pulled them apart. Backstage, Pierce had Oba Femi, who's trying to get him to sign a contract to sign with Monday Night Raw. He still got the offer from SmackDown. He's not made the decision. And then Femi said that he needed some time. Femi was then confronted by Rusev, who didn't really get much of a reaction, but I think that was because the Memphis crowd didn't really react to a lot on this show, unfortunately. Rusev wore an old Happy Rusev Day shirt under his jacket. Did you notice that one?
I did, yeah.
I was like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Bring back the Rusev Day shirts?
Yeah, we got in trouble for that once. I sold
What'd you do?
Selling Rusev Day shirts before WWE actually sold Rusev Day shirts. Trust me, we sold 400.
Really?
Sold 400 of them shirts. Because when they first started doing the Rusev Day, it's Rusev Day, they weren't making t-shirts. So I made a Rusev Day t-shirt. And then 3-4 months later, got a thing saying we had to take it down.
You should have made a El Grande Amerikaiser shirt.
I still should. But yeah, no. Sold a lot of them Rusev Day shirts. I'll tell you that for sure. Anyways, probably the most successful piece of merch I ever made. Like I said, sold like 400 of those shirts on our freaking TeePublic store. And then TeePublic got a notice from WWE saying that it had to be taken down. They also took down. So do you remember that one promo that Becky and Charlotte did where Becky went, Becky, uh-oh, or Charlotte said, what are you, Becky, uh-oh? Right? You remember that?
No.
So I forget what the context of the promo segment was, but it was Becky and Charlotte going back and forth. And Charlotte just said, Becky, uh-oh. And I'm like, oh, that's a catchy little thing. So I made a shirt that said Becky, uh-oh. And like 2 years later, WWE had it taken down. They also had our Jinder Mahal shirt taken down too.
Didn't you also get like a Mommy's Boy shirt taken down? Like a Rhea Ripley shirt?
Yeah. I had one. It was Rhea Ripley shirt. It said, I'm a Mommy's Boy instead of I'm a Paul Heyman guy. It was like a style of I'm a Paul Heyman guy t-shirt. It said, I'm a Mommy's Boy. So a bunch of those too. But no, I had one that said, when Jinder Mahal won the championship, I made I'm a Jinder Mahal guy shirt. Sold a couple of them. And then within like 2 weeks, WWE had it taken down.
That's crazy. But
did one time see someone wear that I'm a Jinder Mahal shirt on, I think it was at the pay-per-view where they did the Punjabi prison match. So, yeah. WWE has recognized my merch a couple times and said, no, no, no. Anyways, so we'll see what's going to happen with Rusev and Oba, but that should be a pretty good match. We know Oba's fighting Kit Wilson this week on SmackDown, though. Then we got a Liv Morgan video or interview that I'm going to pull up something here because I have a translation of what Stephanie Vaquer actually said. So I need to pull up this tweet that translated it. So Morgan's there. She's doing a sit-down interview with Michael Cole, and Dom comes up and sits next to her, and she's like, oh, Daddy Dom. And Cole just immediately goes, who you picking for Mania? And she goes, really, Michael? No, like, happy banter. No, just how are you? Just straight to the hard-hitting questions. And she's like, I have made a decision. And my decision is that I'm not going to rush this. And I haven't decided yet because it's a big deal. And all of a sudden, Stephanie Vaquer comes in. We hear like cling, cling. And she slams this chair down. She sits in the chair and she looks right into the soul of Liv Morgan, basically. And she tells her quote. And this is translated on Twitter from Spanish. I don't know if it's 100% perfect translation, but she stated, quote, you talk about hard work? Why the hell are you talking about hard work? You haven't sacrificed anything. WWE has handed you everything. You started your career here. You had the best doctors, the best trainers. You have everything. You want to talk about sacrifice? I was born in Chile, where wrestling doesn't exist, and still traveled the world, Japan, Mexico, Latin America, Europe, conquered everything. And at this point, Dom's like chiming back in Spanish to her as well, and she's just like, shut up, Dom. She goes on and continues saying, you should be ashamed in hiding behind the Judgment Day. By hiding behind a man. You need to hide behind a man. But I'll tell you something. I went through hell and made it mine just to make it to WWE and to become a champion. The championship means more to me than just a title. It's for all the little girls and women that haven't had the opportunity but still succeed. Liv, if you choose me, you will not win because I will show you what a real champion is. And here's the one thing that got me, because this ended up, I guess you would say Dom translated it to her. Maybe because he like whispered something in her ear, but he didn't whisper enough, in my opinion, to get the whole thing across to her. And so she's like crying about it at the end, and then she leaves in tears or whatever. And Michael Cole's all perplexed. But it's like last week, she had no clue what Stephanie said in Spanish. And then this week, it got to her. I don't know. I thought it was a little much. Like Stephanie's delivery here, regardless if I knew in the moment what she was saying or not, was really, really good. It's like I've said about Penta. Penta can cut a hell of a promo to make you just super engaged and not have to speak a word of English. And Stephanie, I felt, did that here. Maybe not as good as a Penta, but pretty damn good. What did you think of this segment that was and wasn't good depending on how you look at it?
I mean, it was all right. I mean, they're basically already telling us it's gonna. Did they already say it's gonna be Liv versus Stephanie at Mania?
Well, no, because Liv even said I'm waiting to make my decision. It's not something I want to rush. She said that tonight.
I think it's already gonna be that match.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Without telling us. I mean, do you think that match would like kick off night one, or do you think it'll just be like in the middle of like night one or night two?
That's the tough thing. I don't know. I think we have to wait and see what other matches get announced first. The only thing I can predict is Punk and Roman night 2 main event. Other than that, I need to wait and see more matches to kind of gauge what I think should go where, in my opinion. Should it be an opener?
Well, because last year...
I get what you're going to say. Go for it.
Well, last year, the night one kickoff... The night one, like first match of night one was Gunther versus Jay. Mm-hmm. And then like 2 or 3 matches later, they did Tiffany versus Charlotte.
Well, didn't Becky and Rhea, were they the opener of night 2? Or was that Seth and...
No, the opener of night 2 was...
Seth and Drew?
No, the opener of night 2 was Rhea versus Bianca and Io.
Oh, that's right. Bianca and Io. I was thinking the Becky match. That was the year before, I think.
No, that was the year before. That was the opening.
That was 40. That was 40. That was 40. So, yeah, I don't know. But they like wrestlers have said for a long time, you either want to be the opener. Jericho has said this like emphatically. You either want to be the opener or you want to be the main event. You know, Jericho was pissed that him and Owens had to go on second at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, the opener was AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
Yep. Because Jericho's like, and then we're fighting for one of the world titles, and you're going to make us go on second. Because he just felt like, he said it multiple times. It's either first or last. Those are the 2 most important matches on a card. First and last.
Well, I remember the original plan was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Jericho for the Universal title.
Yep.
But then they put the belt on Goldberg, and then Goldberg versus Brock for the Universal title.
Yep. That was a whole thing.
Which that was a crappy match.
Yeah. Oh, one of the best under 5. I wouldn't call it crappy. I would say it's one of the best 5-minute matches you'll ever watch.
Probably.
I would say that for sure.
You remember that Survivor Series match where like Goldberg literally squashed Lesnar?
Spear after spear after spear.
He like 3 or 4 spears and hit him with a jackhammer.
And Brock's the whole time just had this look on his face like he saw a ghost and was freaked out. Yeah. That's the thing. That was actually pretty good. I like that, actually. 2016.
And like Paul Heyman was just like shocked.
Yep. Moving forward, we got more Judgment Day. Finn Balor and CM Punk. CM Punk comes down to a big reaction. He said the fans seemed happy to see him. Excuse me. He said the fans seemed happy to see him, but the office wasn't. Pierce claims that he was jeopardizing the WrestleMania main event. Fans kind of booed that. Punk said that he was doing what he always did. Make things better. Make others better. He says sports teams qualify for the playoffs, but they still have to show up and play their regular season games. Which I guess that makes a little sense in this context, but not really. Fans deserved a fighting champion. Just like Finn Balor deserved a title shot in Belfast for everything he's done for his career. Now, Balor was getting a title shot because he what? Earned it? Earned it because he got his ass beat. That's what he said. Balor then jumped him in Toronto. I wrote that weird. He jumped him in Toronto and then got himself a title shot. Punk often said things piss him off, and that's the best way to get under his skin. He wouldn't be who he was. He didn't often say that things piss me off. The fans wouldn't love him either. Punk was a fighting champion and would always want to defend this title no matter what, because, well, he's not Roman Reigns. Balor then would eventually interrupt, flanked by Dominic Mysterio and the returning JD McDonough. Good to see JD back after having whatever surgery it was that he had, whether that was wrist, hand, whatever. They surrounded the ring like the Shield. Balor said that they weren't out here for a fight. Balor wanted to make something very clear. To be the best in the world, you had to train with the best catch wrestlers in Europe, learn from the best luchadors in Mexico, and survive the toughest dojos in Japan. And then show up on Raw and beat guys like Roman Reigns on your first night out. So, for Balor, he wasn't concerned that he was the best. He wasn't concerned because he thought he was the best in the world. Balor wouldn't be jeopardizing the WrestleMania main event. He was going to beat Punk and make that main event better. Punk asked him what these two idiots were doing here. Punk said, quote, "I know who you are. I'm sorry I misspoke. I know who you are. Or I know who you were." All those great things that Balor did, he did it by himself. He didn't see the Judgment Day by his side when he was having that past success. Balor used to mean something, but now the Judgment Day by his side, they're nothing more than an anchor around his neck. Normally, someone like Balor could elevate guys, but these guys are just dragging him down. Dom had 2 belts and never defended them. McDonough's head was so big that it made it hard for him to get in the ring. Fans started chanting bobblehead. Punk then called himself the smartest guy who sometimes did dumb things. He turned his back and gave them a free shot. Punk knew that he was the best in the world, but didn't need to prove it. Maybe Finn did. Then for some reason we got more random whoop that trick chants. And then Punk words.
That was weird.
Yeah, Punk's words got to Balor. McDonough was about to jump Punk, but Finn stopped him. Punk then tossed the mic down and left the ring. I thought this was fine. It was a little kind of awkward feeling, to be completely honest. It just felt kind of, I guess, random is the word I would use. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was a little random.
It almost felt like filler. Like, hey, we got Phil here. We got Finn. Let's just do something to remind people they're fighting at the pay-per-view. But it didn't feel really that consequential. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Byron Saxton interviewed Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Guessed how they were holding things together after everything that had been going on with the tag titles and chamber qualifiers and all that. Ripley admitted that SmackDown was a battle. Nia and Lash thought that they could win the tag titles and failed. They turned up the heat, so it was time for Rhea to put them out. Sky was about to talk about her qualifier, but was interrupted by Kairi Sane and Asuka. Sane said Asuka was already in the chamber, and she would make sure that Ripley and Sky would never win it. Which, was that a spoiler for Io winning the qualifier next week? That's what I think. And she's like, Asuka's going to make sure you two don't win the chamber. I was like, uh-oh. Did Kairi just spoil something? Anyways, Asuka wanted Sane to make it clear their goal was to make sure Asuka was the champion. Asuka then told Ryo that they were not ready for the chamber. I mean, if you want somebody that can go out there and actually get a good match out of Jade for Mania, you have Asuka. Asuka can get a good match out of any of them women. She'd teach Jade a thing or two as well about working.
Yep.
So then we had El Grande Americano versus Penta. It's like a 7-8 minute match. The match went to a break about a minute in. El Grande tried to go after Penta's mask afterwards, and then Penta actually tried the same back at him. El Grande used a distraction to take control, but Penta yanked him off the apron and hit him with the Penta driver for a near fall. Penta then knocked Ryo off the apron before El Grande hit a running headbutt for a 2. Ryo then distracted the referee while Bravo attempted to give El Grande the middle plate. However, the original El Grande Americano yanked him from under the ring. The original El Grande then gave Bravo a Chaos Theory German suplex and dumped Ryo over the announce table. Penta then flew in and gave El Grande, Kaiser that is, a Canadian Destroyer and pinned him to pick up the victory. Now, they never said it, but was this supposed to be like implied as like an IC title number 1 contender match? Because earlier Pierce was like, I'll give you an opportunity to earn a shot at the IC title.
I don't know.
So we're supposed to think,
Actually, no.
Are we supposed to think maybe Penta's in line for an IC title shot?
Potentially. I have no clue what they're going to do with the IC title at Mania. Probably just if I had to predict, it's probably just going to be Finn versus Dominic. Demon Finn Balor against Dominic.
Here's my thing, though. If you didn't see this match, you literally missed nothing, unfortunately, with these two guys. But it was so much of the El Grande stuff that it was just like, you don't need to watch this match at all. I didn't care for it. Let's go backstage.
Yeah. I honestly thought for sure they were going to have a... Like, it honestly looked like they were going to take Ludwig's mask off.
Like I said last week, they can't. He's too big of a star in Mexico with that mask. He has to keep it for Mexico. Like, they have to unmask Gable. They have to. It's got to be Gable unmasking.
I don't know.
Trust me.
We'll see.
They'll lose too much with the Mexican crowd for AAA. I think Kaiser with that mask in AAA is money. So backstage, McDonough tried to talk some sense into Finn Balor. He was embarrassed watching what happened to Finn in Belfast and thought that they should injure Punk before the match. Balor wanted none of that and to do this all on his own. Balor then stormed off and McDonough was not very happy with it. Dom was concerned and they just kind of left because, Dom's got his own match later. Then we had a segment with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. There's more whoop that trick chants during this, which is kind of weird. I don't know why the crowd kept chanting whoop that trick over and over all night. Anyways, AJ Lee entered. She said she had fun getting under Becky's skin last week. She said it was just way too easy. Lynch reminded her that this was serious business. After ramming her into the ring post, Lee hasn't had a singles match in over a decade, let alone a title shot. The last time she had a title around her waist, the division looked a lot different. Yeah, WrestleMania 30. All they had to fight for was a sparkly pink butterfly, but she loved that title. She wore that title proudly because she made that title. She was modest. She knew exactly who the hell she was. She was the women's division before her and the women's division after her. She said that was her gift to all of them. Now remember, Becky almost, I guess you could say at WrestleMania 32, only 2 years later, after AJ lost that belt, was supposed to fight for that belt. And then they changed things and made the woman's belt and said, you're no longer divas. So it's like AJ helped them no longer be divas only a couple years after AJ was done. That's just my opinion.
Only a year. Only a year.
Technically, yeah, because her last match was 31. It still sucks that everyone saw that as the go get a snack pee break match. Trust me, you don't know how many people at that WrestleMania, Bella's music hit and everybody got up. Like, so many people.
Well, yeah, because it was just a regular tag match. It wasn't even like for the Divas title.
Yeah.
If it was actually for the Divas title, people would have stayed. They could have made it a fatal 4-way for the Divas title.
I mean, so many people, including myself, I'll admit it, went and got a hot dog.
Is it just like, I'm honestly, no, never mind. I was about to say I've never really got food at WWE event, but I actually did. I remember there was a tag match. My mom was like she's like, are you hungry? I'm gonna go get some food. I'm like, sure. Can you give me a cheeseburger? And she's like, sure.
I mean, I was gonna eat at that Mania because I was there for, I don't know, fucking, what did we get there at? We got there like,
well, Mania, you have to eat because you're there for a while.
Yeah, we got there like 2 in the afternoon, maybe earlier than that, and we were there till like 9.
What time did that Mania start?
Oh, I don't even remember. But you have to think it was a West Coast Mania, so like pre-show stuff started at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon because it was a West Coast Mania. So everything's gonna start earlier than a normal Mania. I remember sitting there for the pre-show, watching Big Show win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal in the frickin' heat of the sun. No clouds.
Yeah, it looked very bright.
No clouds in the sky and just bright as shit.
That Mania looked very bright.
That was the worst Undertaker entrance ever because they tried to put Undertaker on as late as possible and it was still bright when he came out for his entrance against Bray Wyatt. like I've never seen the Undertaker come out as the demon.
Where's that Mania at?
San Francisco. It's the 49ers stadium.
Oh.
So it was a completely open stadium. It's not like if they were to go to LA for SoFi Stadium and they got like the dome where they can kind of make it look a little darker in there. Nope. That place is. It's crazy to think when that stadium was built, was it 2015? That was supposed to be a quote unquote new age state of the art stadium. And now we have all these stadiums that it doesn't even compare to anymore. Just not even that many years after that.
Aren't the Titans supposed to be getting a new stadium soon?
I want to say it's like, hold on. I think it's like halfway done. And it's like literally right next to the current stadium.
Because I'm pretty sure like there was a rumor like once they were starting to like build that new stadium that WWE might want to hold like a Mania there because they want to be like one of the first like they want to be like have a first like big event at their new stadium.
I'm trying to find. I saw a picture, and I don't know if this is a real picture or not, but it's like the old small stadium, and the new stadium's like huge right next to it. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, I think it's this. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up on the screen. Let me see if I can get this up. When was this posted? Oh, just recently. Okay, cool. So this is the current stadium down here. This is the new stadium up here.
I wonder what they're gonna do with the old stadium. Just like tear it down, just blow it up.
I guess parking, make it a parking lot. I don't know. But
what do they normally do with like old stadiums? Do they just get like a bunch of like bulldozers and just tear it down?
I think it just depends. Some keep it, some don't. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. Well, what? Also, hold on. New Bills. Bills are getting a new stadium too. Have you seen their new stadium?
No, I didn't.
This is the one that I saw. Okay, hold on. This is the one that I was thinking of, not the Titans one, but it's this one. Hold on. Where it's like side by side. Let me open this image. This is the one where I'm like, that's such a big difference. So this is Highmark Stadium where the Bills play now. This is the new stadium that's going to have a retractable dome. Literally across the street.
Oh.
Yeah. Crazy. Like, it sucks for TV because we're never going to get those big, cool drone fly-in shots of the stadium and stuff. You know what I mean? All these damn dome enclosed stadiums.
I mean, it makes sense why they're doing domes now.
Well, especially in Buffalo. I get that. It snows up there all the time. Yeah. I want to say it's this stadium that's going to have some sort of like a heating system under the field. So if it does, like if they leave the dome open and it snows, the field can just melt the snow itself. That's pretty cool. I will say that. But like, it's going to suck when you have all these domes and they're all enclosed and we don't get those cool, like drone up shots and they coming. There was one at, I saw like a behind the scenes of them doing the actual shot from a Chiefs game where it's like you see the drone shot come up and it's kind of like out of focus. And then as it gets closer, it's a more and more and more in focus. And it's like super cool. And like you see the guy wearing the POV drone goggles, flying it and everything. It's, oh man, I wish I had that right now to show you guys. A really cool geek out moment for me because I love that kind of stuff. Just seeing that. Because I saw it on Instagram, like a behind the scenes of how they shot it. Like live. towards like the director calling the shots and everything. And he's like, yeah, really cool. He's like, focus in, track, dolly, like, yeah. Anyways, back to all this with AJ and Becky. Lee still wanted to get her hands on everybody back in the back. She wanted to have fights with Bayley and Lyra and Ripley and Sky and Asuka and Kyrie, Judgment Day, Charlotte, Alexa. But for now, she's going to have to just settle to fight Becky. Lee wasn't sure why Lynch was so bad, though. Maybe because she came back, or that her merch does better than Becky's. Fans like her more. But she gave Lynch a 10-year head start. She still hasn't caught up to her. Lynch then gave Lee a gift. Without her, maybe Lee would have not come back. But she had a chance to show that she could still be a champion. If she walks out of Chicago victorious, she gets to walk into Mania as the IC champion. Lee called out Lynch. Here's the thing. According to Meltzer, they're supposed to work Mania. I think AJ wins the title at Chamber, and then they do the rematch at Mania with the IC title on the line with AJ as the champion. That's just fantasy booking thing from current rumors and reports.
That's probably what I would do, honestly. And maybe have Becky win it back at Mania. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because AJ doesn't need to hold it that long. Because if she's not, because AJ's not like wrestling on TV like all the time, then she doesn't need the belt. Like she can win that Chamber, then lose at Mania, and it won't really hurt AJ.
Yep. Lynch enters. She was amused that Lee thought that this was all about her and her getting a shot at the title, and she can have an actual title run. But this was an opportunity to gather all of her friends and family and give her a big send-off. The retirement match that she never got, and she even deserved. They could all cry while Lynch just shoves away Lee's. I wrote a weird word here. I don't even know what this word is. Anyways, Lee's gift to them was that she left and made this place better. With her leaving, Lynch has been making history for 10 years while Lee just went and made comic books. Lee then invited her in the ring to fight right now. Lynch wasn't biting. So Lee took a page from Punk's book and offered the first shot. Lee then put her hands behind her back, but Lynch still wouldn't hit her. Lynch acted a little frustrated and said that she knew Lee was just trying to have an excuse to where she was hurt going into the match. So when she lost, she can say, well, you hurt me already. Lynch then declined and left the ring. This was fine. I felt like it did nothing to really get me more interested. I'm interested to see if they put the title on AJ or not. But it's like this didn't do anything else to get me like interested in the match itself. What'd you think?
Yeah, I agree. I do feel like I think they'll put the belt on AJ.
Me too. Even if it's just for the month or month and a half, I think.
Just do it for the month. You can have her drop it in Mania.
Yep.
I wonder what other matches we can get at Mania. Because I wonder what they'll do with the women's tag titles. Do you think Julia defends the women's United States title at Mania? I doubt it.
Probably not, unfortunately.
They need to take away Kiana James from her. They really do.
Well, Kiana James is pretty good, actually, if you watch her on SmackDown.
They don't need her with Julia. I feel like her with Julia is kind of like killing with Julia.
No, I agree with that.
And I feel like the only reason why they have Kiana James pair with Julia because Julia can't really speak good English.
Yeah.
Which I do feel like that kind of killed her momentum on the main roster. She was great in NXT, but then like when she came to the main roster, they're probably like, well, she can't really speak proper English.
Totally agree. Which the weird thing is Asuka can speak perfect English, but they have her say everything in Japanese.
Why? Because they realize how good her promos are in Japanese, even though people don't understand it.
Yep. Let's see. Where are we here? Next up, the Vision confronted Adam Pearce backstage. Theory was pissed that Pearce let his brother Logan be attacked by the Masked Man. Theory was getting in Pearce's face, so Heyman urged Theory and Paul to head to the jet. Pearce said the Masked Man was a problem for him as well because he still doesn't know who he is. Reed said that he would solve the Masked Man problem when he gets his hands on him next time. Pearce was like, okay, thanks. Fine, you gonna take care of him? Someone needs to take care of him. I don't know who he is. I don't think anybody knows who he is. I think the end game might be Seth, but who knows? Who knows?
Probably it has to be Seth.
So Cole said that the segment
Oh, have you seen Seth on like his like stuff on ESPN lately?
is it ESPN or is it NFL Network?
Yeah, I think it's NFL Network.
Because it's Good Morning Football. I don't know. I don't watch it, so I don't know where it airs.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah, he was like doing good. He's doing stuff for Good Morning Football now in the NFL Network.
Yeah, he's been a regular on that show for months, which is very cool.
Hey, gives him something to do while he's hurt.
Well, he was even doing it before he was hurt. He would go on there, I think, like once a week or something like that, which is super cool to see for Seth. Because like Seth said it before, he doesn't want to do movies. He did that. He filmed for The Last Captain America and didn't really have a great time. But him being on one of those.
Do you remember him in Sharknado?
No, I never watched that.
They had a few WWE wrestlers in Sharknado. They had Chris Jericho die in Sharknado.
Yep.
They had Kurt Angle as play a fire chief. Have you seen Kurt Angle in movies?
Yes, a couple times.
He's terrible.
Yes, not good. But no, I think Seth is really good as like a personality who's just able to just talk. Don't script him. Just let him speak his mind. Whenever he's on the Rich Eisen show, he's perfect. Good Morning Football, the clips I've seen of that, he's perfect. He was even on, did you see that thing where the guy climbed the skyscraper on Netflix? So the guy that did the free solo, where he climbed El Capitan in Yosemite without any harness or anything, climbed a big old skyscraper in like Thailand or Taiwan or something. I don't know where it was. And just randomly, Seth Rollins was commentary for it. They had like 3 commentary people, and Seth was one of them on the panel for Netflix. I'm
really?
like, what the? Yeah. It just random. I didn't even see that announced anywhere. But Seth is good in those kinds of roles. Like you put him on a pre-show for like a sporting event or just something random where he could just talk. He's just such a good natural talker. I think Seth, after he's in his wrestling, has a pretty good chance to get into like broadcast or just some kind of that kind of side of media. He doesn't want to do acting. He said that's Becky's thing. But I think entertainment wise, him being on doing that kind of stuff, post show, pre show for different sports, I think he would excel tremendously.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
I wonder what other like wrestlers like in WWE who do really well if they start doing acting.
We know Roman wants to do more. Jade is supposed to be in a movie coming up. I can't remember which one, but I don't know if it's filmed already.
Wasn't she supposed to be in American Gladiators?
No, that is Wardlow's in that and Camille, plus Eric Boogs. Oh, Boogahagen.
Wasn't Miz like a host for it?
Miz is the host of it. Yep. And they filmed 2 seasons already. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. But just thinking like Tiffany Stratton, she's got an agent. She wants to get into acting. Drew McIntyre, he's doing movies. He filmed, I think, a movie last fall. I think he's in Beekeeper. I think he's in Beekeeper 2, which I think Edge might be in as well. Hold on.
I know Edge is in it.
Drew McIntyre. IMDb. Because I know Drew filmed a movie last year, like last fall. Drew McIntyre. Oh, that's what it is. He's in the new Highlander movie with Batista's in that and starring Henry Cavill. That's what it is. Drew's in Highlander. I could have swore I thought he was in. No, he was in a different Jason Statham movie. That's right. Which one was that? I want to say he was in a different Jason Statham movie, but I can't remember what it is now. Or he was rumored to be in an upcoming Jason Statham movie, maybe. But yeah, he's going to be in the Highlander movie, which actually is currently filming. And Henry Cavill plays the main character. Drew's supposed to play his brother in that movie, like the brother of the main character. I don't know how big of a role it's going to be, But yeah, really cool for Drew.
I know when Roman was in like Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious, he didn't even have any speaking roles.
No. And then I still want to watch it. Punk's in that new movie, Night Shift. Have you seen the previews for that? It's an AMC thing.
No.
So basically what it is, it's Punk plays a cop, and it's like the night shift cops are bad cops that are actually cops that turn into vampires.
There was a CM Punk movie where like he was like where Punk was like bitten by a vampire.
Oh, that was hold on, I know which one that was. I'm pulling up his IMDb. Phil Brooks.
Rabid.
Yes.
It was CM Punk and AJ Lee scene.
Yeah, Punk's also going to be in a movie upcoming called Guarding Stars, which is currently in pre-production. But he was in Zootopia, which, like, if you didn't know, you would never know, because you can't tell whose voice that is at all. And then, yeah, Night Patrol, which came out, I want to say just recently, like last month. Yeah, it just came out. Because I've been watching some stuff on AMC, not TNA. Well, a little bit of TNA, but not really. And they've been airing the previews for Night Patrol on AMC a lot because it's one of their deals. But anyways, got our main event.
I just sent you the CM Punk and AJ Lee stuff from Rabid in 2019.
Gotcha.
Have you seen that movie?
No. Is it any good?
I've only seen that clip.
Oh,
That's why I was
okay.
asking you.
Gotcha. Anywho, before we go to our main event here, Michael Cole told us, if you want to know what Stephanie Vaquer said, we've uploaded the full segment on our social media with English translations. Then they gave us a badass, awesome AJ Styles tribute video. This video ruled. It showed stuff from like TNA and all kinds of stuff. AJ's whole career, or as much as they can show. And then they said, next week, a special tribute to AJ Styles in Atlanta. And I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. I'm excited for this. Hopefully, this isn't some bullshit. And it's like somebody interrupts the tribute and it leads to AJ in a Mania match because he said he's done. He said he's retired. Don't fuck this up. I swear to God, if Gunther comes out to ruin the tribute and it leads to Gunther and AJ at Mania, fuck off. Anyways, this then leads us to our main event. There's Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. I'm going to be honest. It was a good match, but it just dragged at times. The crowd wasn't fully into it. And it was just like, I wouldn't say hard to watch because there were some cool spots and like good stuff in this match, but it just didn't feel like one of those hot main event matches, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So early on, Dom repeatedly tried to avoid Gunther at the start. Evans went right after Gunther. They let Javon Evans get a lot on Gunther in this match, I will say. Like, Javon got a lot of, like, good knock him off his feet offense onto Gunther, which shocked the shit out of me. Evans went after Gunther early on, took him down a couple of times until he managed to come back with a drop kick. Gunther dropped him moments later before chopping down Dom. At one point, Evans shined over Mysterio as he come back from a commercial break, but Gunther powerbombed him on top of Dom. Evans then caught Gunther in a cover from a Hurricane Rana, which looked cool, but Gunther kicked out and hit a powerbomb, only getting a 2. Gunther then chopped Evans in the back, and Evans avoided a powerbomb and hit a running knee strike, and Dom broke up the pin. Gunther then got his knees up on a Dom frog splash before Evans hit Gunther with a springboard clothesline. Gunther then came back and caught Evans in a sleeper, but Evans quickly used a jawbreaker to get out of it. Evans then went for an OG cutter, but Gunther caught him in a sleeper. Dom then broke this all up with the frog splash on Gunther's back. Dom then went for a 619, but Gunther planted him with the clothesline. One point, Dom then, so during the commercial break, Dom goes over and just grabs the ring bell hammer. And they're like, well, it's no DQ and a triple threat, so cool, he can do this. And he just puts it on the steel steps. He just puts it there and doesn't use it. Then they tell us hey, during the break, Dom did this, just like the guy that should have raised him would have done, Eddie Guerrero. And then they're like, but he hasn't used it yet. So don't worry. You guys didn't miss anything during the break. And so, the hammer just sits there and we're supposed to forget about it, which I did for a while. Gunther hit a back suplex and booted Dom out of the ring at one point. Gunther grabbed the hammer from Dom, who was going to use it. But then Dragon Lee flew in with the ring bell and clocked Gunther in the head with it, knocking him out. Gunther knocked out on the outside. Dom hit Evans with a 619, but Evans avoided the frog splash. Evans then went up top and hit the big OG cutter and pinned Dom to pick up the victory. 1, 2, 3, 14.5-minute match. Javon Evans wins and qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. Like I said, it was a good match. I thought these three worked well together, but it just didn't feel like a big, high caliber, hot main event. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Javon Evans, him being in the chamber, they're just going to use him to jump off one of the pods or jump off the top of the chamber.
He's hitting somebody with an OG cutter from the top of a pod. I'm going to tell you right now. He's going to come flying in. Or he's going to go for an OG cutter off the top of the pod, and Randy's going to hit him with an RKO in the middle of the ring.
Probably.
One of the two. So.
That'd be a pretty cool RKO to see.
Right? He's going to do something where he's jumping off a pod. I'm going to tell you that right now. Javon Evans is jumping off one of these damn pods. As far as the men's Elimination Chamber match does go, we've got Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and Javon Evans. Who do you got winning?
I think Cody's winning.
Same here. I think Cody wins.
Has to be Cody.
Cody wins, and then we get him and Drew. If not him, Drew, and Jacob at WrestleMania. With all of that,
do you think the final two in that chamber is going to be Cody and Randy?
It's possible. I don't see why not. Cody then pins Randy. I can see it.
Yeah. Maybe it could lead to Randy turning heel on Cody down the line, trying to get another title shot.
Yeah, and we still have 2 more spots in that match to be cleared up. When I think the final Raw spot's probably going to go to Bronson Reed. So we get a big Bronson Reed LA Knight spot. Oh, you think they would? Ooh, I don't know. I don't even know if I should say it. Tsunami off of a
No, that would kill somebody. That would kill somebody.
Big old tsunami.
I remember when Undisputed Era was taking on Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dijakovic, Pete Dunne in War Games that one year. And then some people were saying, well, if Keith Lee did a moonsault off top of the War Games,
Lord.
That would kill somebody. Somebody would die.
But just think of how hyped Wade Barrett would be. Tsunami! If he did tsunami off.
I can see him trying to. Then they move out of the way and they hurry up and pin him.
Kill himself?
He'd probably kill himself.
He'd break his ankles again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Bronson Reed does get the final Raw spot, though. It would make sense. Do we know the last qualifier for SmackDown? I can double check on that. Hold on. I don't know if they announced it on SmackDown or not. I can't remember. Hold on. SmackDown qualifiers. Do we have any announced? Let's see. Oh, I did forget to mention earlier in the news segment, I was going to bring this up and I totally forgot. Some WWE or some independent wrestlers have announced that they have been invited to the next WWE tryout, which is really cool. I don't have anything on. Yeah, I don't think I do have on anything as far as SmackDown qualifying matches. Anywho, with all of that, guys, I want to say we forgot to do the polls, so unfortunately, we do not know what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw, but we had fun talking Raw, talking the news, and all of that stuff. Thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. And hopefully I'm free and good to go on Wednesday for the AEW Dynamite stream. So with that, guys, have a great night. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.